Hey guys, happy Training Tuesday. My name is Kim Irwin. I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne International, and I want to thank you for being with me today. So it has been quite a ride since last week. And, I've been doing these trainings for a couple of years now, a little over that. And I try very, very hard to do each and every one of them live and fresh. However, I don't know if any of you noticed or not, but last Tuesday, I did have to use one of my pre-recorded ones because I was dealing with a bout or a flare-up of diverticulitis. So if any of you know or don't know what that is, in our gut, as I talk about gut constantly, and I don't know if this is hereditary, I don't know if it's stress-induced, I don't know if it's food-induced. I mean, there's not a ton known about it other than once you get older, most people, or at least 50% or so over 60 or 65, have what's called diverticuli in their gut, in their colon. So there is an ascending colon, transverse colon, and descending colon, and then the sigmoid colon along the bottom. So within there, sometimes these pockets form, and they're like, I like to think of them like, the balloons when people are using those long balloons and they're making animals and stuff out of them. Well, when they twist them, sometimes a bubble will kind of pop out the side, and you can see it looks very fragile, like it can pop easily. I like to kind of think of it that way because your colon is long like a tube, and then it gets these pockets, and these pockets can become inflamed, infected, and sometimes nothing ever happens. So people may have these existing in their colon and they never even know about it until they have a colonoscopy maybe. So all last week, I was dealing with not only the flare-up of that, but I had a colonoscopy coming up. So this has been a very educational week for me, and I'm going to talk about some ingredients that I have talked about in the past. My dog wants to play, that I've talked about in the past, but this has a little different bent to it. So a couple of the ingredients that I want to discuss are glucomannan and konjac root. So I've talked about them before because they are very beneficial in weight loss because they get into your system, into your stomach, and they expand. And when they expand, you feel fuller. And when you feel fuller, you don't want to eat as much. So that I've talked about that before. And Arbonne has a product called Full Control. And the Full Control can help you not be as hungry. Okay. And usually if you're not taking in as much, then you may lose some weight. Okay. Not making any claims there. I'm just kind of telling you what those ingredients do. So I listened to a woman, her name is Dr. Gladys Walters. She is a biochemist. I'm going to, this is very light on her accomplishments, but she has a PhD in pharmacology. She is an extremely intelligent woman, and she wanted to know how do plants, how can they work in the healing process? So I listened to some of her information, and I wanted to share this with you because I know a lot of people, if you're friends of mine, you may be around my age, you may be enjoying the colonoscopy requirements now. It's as young as in the 40s at this point because they're finding so many people that are being diagnosed with colon cancer. So I don't know anything about that, but I do know that I've done some of this research on glucomannan and on konjac root. So konjac root and the plant are different than glucomannan. Glucomannan is actually the fiber itself that is found in the root. Okay, so it's a very effective fiber, and that is found in the konjac root. But the konjac itself is a plant that is found in Asia, and when it's used, it turns into a prebiotic fiber. So what we're talking about is we have this gut system that needs to eliminate waste from our systems. Well, when you are well and you don't have infections or inflammation, things like that going on in your colon, then your ideal diet, as I've learned from Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic is to have a high fiber diet. Okay, so what can we do to add to that to help to increase the fiber intake? Well, you can use different ingredients like glucomannan and konjac root. So what glucomannan does is it absorbs the water in the intestines. And then it also slows the absorption of sugars and cholesterol. Okay, so you can imagine what those benefits might be from that. Okay, now the product that Arbonne has is called Full Control, and that's what this Dr. Walter discusses. She was so excited to come into contact and become aware of this Full Control because of all of her studies and research that supported glucomannan and konjac root, and that is what this product is. Now, a couple of things I want to tell you about that. Number one, you take it 30 minutes before your meal. And she said the 30 minutes is ideal because it gets right in where it needs to be the most effective. Now, here's a kicker. A lot of people were saying, oh, I mix that with my greens. Oh, I mix it with this or whatever. Don't mix it with anything. Nothing. Because what it's going to do is it's going to absorb that water and everything else around it and help flush it out of your system. Birth control. Be careful, okay? If you're using glucomannan and konjac root, don't take your birth control pills anywhere around that time, okay? Because it literally is going to take it and get it out of your system. So it's not going to have time to absorb into your bloodstream and do what it's supposed to do for you and what it's prescribed to do. So I thought that was really interesting, a really good little note to self about when you're taking this Full Control. And so there's so many benefits to these ingredients that are just, plants. They're plant-based, they're root-based, but these are different forms of very, very effective fiber that can help keep your gut running effectively and functioning properly so that you are eliminating the things that need to be eliminated and keeping that whole process clean. So anyway, I thought that was really, really interesting. Please forgive me for having had to use a pre-recorded session last Tuesday, but anyway, I hope that this has been helpful for you. A little bit of information about glucomannan and konjac root, when to take it, what don't take with it, like nothing. But if a lot of times, if you are one of the other studies that I read is sometimes when you are taking konjac root in particular, but probably both of them, if you do start to feel some sort of constipation or whatever, you just drink a lot of water or cut back on that. So I'm not trying to prescribe anything, but I did have a personal experience with this, and I just wanted to share some of the information that I learned. And also, all of these different ingredients that are used in so many products, not only Arbonne, but so many products have so many different benefits to them, anywhere from preventative to healing to whatever. But they work. And, I can tell you that with Arbonne, that they're clean and they're safe and they're effective. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer those. If you want information on any other topics, please let me know because I am open to ideas and just want to get you some information and research-based topics that can help you in your day-to-day life. So thank you for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll talk to you soon.